So we bounce out, and we have come to the gates of the school. A pale blue drow comes walking down the front gate in a hurry, holding his notebook to the side. Of course, this is Dante. He's just recently left his classmates in the common room. He'd been scribbling away, writing stuff, and all of a sudden something just occurred to him, and he told everyone that he'll be back for opening ceremonies, and that he needs to go. As he's walking through, he probably notices that from the window his classmates are looking at him as he's walking towards the gates, but he doesn't care. You go through the gates, and you notice the train. The train is there waiting to get boarded up, and you see someone that you vaguely recognize. It's one of the professors. It's Professor Dagon. You remember that this is the father of one of the other students, whatever his name was. So you had a nickname for him. I think you were calling him something.
Daddy's boy.
Yeah, Daddy's boy. Then you also see a smiling person that notices you and waves. This happy person is another one of your level 3 classmates. It is Tekka. You remember that Tekka has some type of magical energy, but you really don't know what he is and how he gets his power just yet. You suspect that he might get it from possibly a higher being after the fight that you all had. But you remember that he did quite a bit of healing and was able to pull it down. So he's useful in his own right. And at this, Professor Dagon turns and looks, and he goes, "Hello, students." He sort of looks at you and squints. He says, "Are you, by chance, taking a ride home?" It's like we're on our way to the Underdark, to the Dragon City. I've read your file. I believe that you are from there, correct?
I am.
So, well, I have secured this because I have been summoned by the Queen.
You've been summoned by the Queen?
Yes. So me and my young ward here, Tekka, I've asked to accompany me because I feel that what better time to start learning the ways of the world and harnessing his abilities by seeing the world a little bit more. He is quite worthy, I feel, after watching you all last night, that you have potential. So you're welcome to ride with the school train with us to the Underdark if that is where you're going.
It is where I'm going, and I appreciate the ride. And then that's when Dante walks over to Sunshine, puts his hand on his shoulder.
Classmate communist.
I say, "Sunshine, when we go into battle, do me a favor and don't die."
Of course.
Because you do possess some skills, I believe, that will be quite needed in the upcoming events that we'll be going through, and just don't die.
Of course, you're my strong classmate too.
So, do you remember the fight? Does Tekka remember the fight from last night?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So you did get put down a lot.
But I got up.
You did get up, but if it would have been like,
that's why he's saying don't die.
Yeah, like
because he understands the potential.
Yeah, because if
Dante's
it wasn't in the
it.
safety of that,
I would have died.
Yeah, you don't know if this patron. Do you remember the name of your patron?
I don't remember it either, actually.
So it's the peace song.
That's right.
Okay, so it might be something that you want to make sure to write down. That's very important.
Peace song is your patron.
And you got to remember that your patron can talk to you about certain things.
And he's going to say, also, Sunshine, not only don't die on us, stay close to somebody that's strong. And then I just leave the conversation at that, and I go walk off to get ready to board.
All right, so you all.
Oh, Lord.
I got this other stuff here. So the professor says, "After you, students." So you go in.
I'm first one on.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Professor.
Is there a particular place you want to sit?
To myself.
To yourself?
I'm going to sit right next to the professor.
No, you're going to crowd him.
You're like,
He
so what are we
invited
doing today?
Hey, he invited him, so
What adventures are we doing today, Professor?
I didn't invite any one of you, so I've got things on my
I'm
mind.
going to ask him, like, you want to come over here and sit with us?
So you're asking. Dante?
Actually, I'm gonna
Yes.
sit in a corner, and I am gonna pull out my lute and just kind of not good, but just twang on it.
Yeah. So and like I would like for you to remind you, you have a book that you can write in, and only people that have been trained in your thieves' cant or otherwise, we're calling it a royal cant, can see it.
Mm-hmm.
So you do have a book, but it looks empty to anyone unless they've been trained by the royal family.
I know what's gonna be in it, but go ahead. Or some stuff anyone already know.
So the train starts pulling out. What did I do with my other? So it's pulling out and going.
Kind of feel like Harry Potter.
So with a big whoosh and magical energy, you both
Harry Potter.
Yeah, but it's not like a, but it's the train sort of it fills with arcane energy and sort of lifts off the ground just a little bit, and lightning effuses outside. This sort of like an electrostatic type thing that does it, and it takes off. So it's passing through the upper layers. So it's not went underground yet. It'll be a little bit till it goes underground. And Professor Dagon looks over at young Tekka and says, "Have you ever left the city?"
No.
Because I think last time you not.
No.
Yeah, you just been mostly in that district. He's like, "Well."
I'm so excited for this adventure.
So he looks and he says, you don't perchance have dark vision, do you?"
I don't think I do.
I don't think because you're a straight human.
Yeah.
But sometimes though warlocks are granted, because that might be important to know because it's based on how you can see. Because if not, anything that's perception or visual, you're going to be at disadvantage under here. Now, Mike's character, he's a drow. He has dark vision out to 120 feet. It's the furthest that anyone has.
Well, I can do a spell, which is light
So
creation.
do you tell the professor that?
Yes.
Professor's like, well, if our friendly drow over there. I'm surprised that he mentioned that it's a very bad idea in the Underdark because
He's listening.
light can draw a many of things that can hurt you. When we get into the Underdark,
Sometimes it's best to figure out things yourself.
in the Underdark, there's a lot of natural light down there. Some good, some bad, some as warnings. But proceed with caution as much as possible.
So he hears that. He heard Professor ask him that. Now Dante's gonna. So Professor, what's your dark vision? Can you see in the dark, or am I going to have to lead both of you in there?
So it's like I can see. It's like I can see. A little ways out. It's basically like
You need to see more than
30.
just a little ways out in the dark.
Yeah. So, but he can see about there. He's got like the standards about 30 feet, right, stuff like that. But
And he's already rolling his eyes like, I'll have to babysit these two.
But there is a lot of light down there. But the scary thing is where there's not light, things can hurt you.
Don't worry. I won't lead y'all off into a dark corner somewhere. Since we're all in this together, right, Professor?
The professor's like, yeah. So, young Dante, what part of the city are you from? Oh, well, this is what I'm doing. It's like no one knows who you are. You know, like, are you going to tell him about your bloodline, or so you're going to lead him on? I didn't think that you're trying to keep it sort of quiet. So you can just give it like a general, downtown, the lower, no place important.
I'm just down there in the Underdark, and I've spent most of my life traveling, going as deep as I can go.
Oh, so you're a wanderer.
I am. One don't know himself unless you challenge yourself. Ain't that right, Professor? Have you ever challenged yourself?
It's like I challenge myself every day, and not just me, but my patron challenges me, and I would not want it any other way. It's like, what is life? What is life? If you can't, succeed at its best.
So when he said that, as he was picking his flute, he's going to go ding. Like when he said that, it was. So what you're telling me is you challenge yourself, but are you challenging the students enough to where they are prepared? Why aren't anybody coming back?
That's a good question.
One that you're leaving for us to find out, right?
Well, we have had many We've had many expeditions. The early ones were not volunteer. But this current wave over the last bit has always been volunteered. If you feel that you don't have the willpower to complete and be part of the expedition, at least we know that we have someone powerful and helpful inside of the city.
For what?
Well,
are you afraid something's going to come from the outside?
There are always things inside and out.
But I thought the bubble kept from evil from entering.
Evil isn't just... There are not just things you have to worry about that's evil.
I agree.
So there are many natural wonders and horrors that are through there. And so injustice isn't always evil. Sometimes just the natural order of things is just as bad.
Just as bad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Like you've been in the Underdark. You said that you've traveled deep. Have you not run into creatures and beings that would sooner eat you for lunch and be able to say that it's how they are?
There's a lot of natural things, right? I agree with you.
Yeah.
That are just living and are not evil. They're just nature's way of surviving.
So survival isn't pretty.
I agree.
Take young Tekka here. I've read his file. So, lived in the streets for a while, didn't you?
I'm sure he learned a great deal from the little streets.
So Tekka, was the world nice to you in the streets?
It's okay.
So did you always?
Just a little.
Did you always have food in your belly?
No.
So
Not all the time.
So while we don't have very, very bad crime, we still have crime.
Indeed, there's crime everywhere.
You know. So this school has trained many in the Royal Guard, many in the Drow Guard, have facilitated to make sure that our world stays safe, protecting the upper and the lower from much natural things. Not all dragons are evil, but that doesn't mean that they're good. So turf wars have broke out over the years between dragons and other creatures, and sometimes we have to step in. Sometimes the only way that you can stop something from going too far is to show strength yourself. Is it not true?
It's true.
It's like you seem educated.
Enough.
So he looks over Tekka and says, peace is not easy, is it, Tekka?
Mm-hmm.
So Tekka.
I'm gonna roll insight. Am I believing all this crap that he's thrown out? Crap. 5.
Well, logically, how do you feel? It's like,
Well, yeah.
it's like, is what he's saying make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense, but I just want to know if he believes it.
Yeah, if he believes it, it's like you're not. Like I said,
But I rolled a 5,
he's very regal. You know, like you can tell he's like probably like sort of noble-ish and sort of. So it's hard to tell. So I will say with your 5.
I'm just saying, is he feeding us a bunch of bullcrap?
Well,
because we are kids.
Well, you know,
training us for something. He doesn't even know what he's training us for.
I would say he must be nobility too, because like I said, you've been in an upbringing and sort of how he handles himself, even how he sits, all this stuff. So the 5 gets you that he must be like an upper echelon, or believe himself to be upper echelon of society.
Mm-hmm.
But you could roll Arcana if you want to see if you can feel some of his power.
Might be a little better. 5. That's even with my Arcana. I rolled a 1.
Well, the 1's an automatic failure.
Well, there you go.
But here's the thing: like you feel so much energy coming from him. It's like it's hard not to feel like this whole cabin is filled with sort of like this arcane pressure through. So he sits and looks over at Tekka. So Tekka, how do you feel that conflict should be resolved?
Through peace and prosperity and friendship.
I would expect nothing less from Sunshine.
But how do you accomplish those things? You're a shining personality. You can only go so far in telling them to stop.
Because eventually, Professor, in Sunshine, you're going to need someone to do the dirty work and the grit.
So, well, the dirty work requires something called power, does it not?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we're here to
Power
get.
of friendship.